Well, I looked at the BFC system first, and then I went to look at Manhattan, and I looked at H&S, which we were on at the time, and then the process took a few years. So at the time we upgraded to Retalix, and I looked at Retalix and in their system, and I just found BFC to be more efficient, more cost savings, and the support was much better. We've been with BFC probably about 4 years now. Absolutely. I've seen and talked to people that are on other systems, and we've talked about the BFC system, and they actually chose another system at one point, and it was a mess. They ended up going back to BFC. Um, I think it was about 6 months because we had to do all the interfaces, and then we had the training, which was I think was a 2 week process. And from that point, once we did the training, we were pretty much up and running on it. We went to the dry area first, and then we converted and did cooler and frozen next. Well, we had Roxanne Harrison come out, and she spent 2 weeks here. And basically, what we did is we set up the warehouse for dry, and she just went over and we put so many people in each class, and she would train them on receiving, and then she would train the guys on put away, and that's basically the two areas we started on. There was a lot of old school, we don't need this, having a hard time with the computers, not very computer literate, but I think after the first month, once the guys got used to it, it went seamless. Well, tracking wise, with the old H&S system, we were basically tracking by hand. We'd write everything down when we got it to put away, and then we brought it in here, and then one of the clerks would key it in. So there was a day and a half lag on when we actually put it in a slot and when we could actually find it there in the system. With BFC, the minute the guy received it on the dock, we knew where it was, and then the guy came and scanned it and put it away, and it was in the system at that point right away. Well, the BFC voice has been awesome. Once we started in the freezer, we were up 8 to 9 months, and then I got the cooler set up and got the new racking in there. We went up and running on that. At that point, I started tracking by area our errors. So in the dry area, we're running 1 in 900, 1 in 1,000. In the cooler, which we've only been up about a month to 2 months, I think it is, we're 1 in 6,000. And in the freezer, where we've been up almost a year, we're 1 in 8. And there's some 4 week spans where we're 1 in 30. Well, it definitely cuts down on a lot of the redeliveries. We don't have the issues of having a mispick and then having to bring it back and redeliver it again. The customer service aspect of it is priceless. At first, it was a little cumbersome to get the stuff going and get the routes set up. But once we got all the schematics on the trucks and got those set up, it went from maybe 5 to 10 minutes a truck to down to maybe 1 to 2 minutes as far as putting the schematics out. As far as how it's helped the drivers, it's basically shown them on the truck where that product will be when they get there. At first, they were a little skeptical because we were loading basically part on the floor, part on pallets, and then we just basically overnight we went to pallets, and then we had to get over the learning curve of where to put the pallets as far as dry, refrigerated, and frozen. But now that we've gotten over that and we've gotten it cleaned up a little, the drivers like it. As far as the BFC system helping our customer service, I think basically the customers love the idea that they're getting the right product, whereas we were struggling at one time, running around at 1 in 1,000, plus the shorts on the truck. The BFC system really helps us track all that. We currently have 13 that are selecting in the freezer and the cooler. We just got part of the dry section done, so we're going to be up and running with 3 more probably in the next week. Actually, they went rather well. Max Blacknick, who does all the interfaces, worked well with our IT guy, Steve Kunis, and it took no time at all. Support with the BFC system has been awesome. I can't say enough about it. If I have an issue, I can dial a number, talk to a live person, and they get back to me and let me know where they're at on the issue. They don't, if they don't have an answer, they find the answer out, and then they call me back and let me know what's going on. But we've never had an issue with support with BFC. I was running a crew of 34 before we used the BFC system, and at this point I'm running a crew of about 26, and we're doing about the same caseload and doing it more efficiently. At one point we were using about 4 checkers. Since we've gone on voice, we basically cut all 4 positions, so they're back to pulling orders, doing drops, doing the other stuff that they need to do. As far as voice and errors, you figure $200 to $300 for each error that you make, and we've gone from 1 in 1,000 in the freezer to 1 in 8,000, and in the cooler 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 6,000. I can't say enough how happy I am with the system. I looked at Retalix. I was told by Retalix that I was making a big mistake, and I feel that no, I did not make the mistake. BFC with their support has been awesome.